Hey guys, how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. Today I want to show you the low Scape Mound Aronia because I'm getting ready to plant these in my garden and they're right in the middle of their peak bloom and they look amazing. So I just really wanted you guys to see the plant, and really another reason is because Aronias, they're also known as chokeberries, used to only be available as small trees. So you really had to have some good space, like a fair amount of space for these plants to grow. But these ones are a dwarf size, they're very small, and it opens up a huge new range, like a huge new realm of possibilities on where you can put these in your garden. So these plants are a zone 3 through 9, which is awesome. So zone 3 plants can withstand winter temperatures down to -40 degrees. So that is really cold. These are really, really tough plants. And then, like I said, they go up to a zone 9. So that's the majority of the United States. They also can take sun to part sun, so they don't have to be in a full sun area to perform and bloom this amazingly. They can also take a little bit of shade as well. And I really like, not to mention all of these blooms, but they've got a really dainty medium green colored leaf that looks really pretty in the summertime. And then in the fall, they get purple berries and their foliage turns brilliant bright red. So you get really 3 seasons of amazing interest out of this plant, which I always am looking for those types of plants that are kind of workhorses in the garden, those plants that look good all throughout the year. They grow about 1 to 2 feet tall and 18 to 24 inches wide. So I mean, just this really diminutive small dwarf shrub, which is really, really nice because we need those too. We need the big things, the things that create the huge weight in the garden, but we also need small little accent things to be able to tuck into different areas of the garden. So a couple other things about these Aronia: they are heat tolerant, which is awesome for me because it gets so hot and dry here in Eastern Oregon in the summertime. They're also salt tolerant and drought tolerant once they're established, and they're a great option for erosion control. So if you've got like a bank or an area where you need to put something to kind of help keep soil in place, this is a great option for that. And they're deer resistant. So if you deal with deer eating your plants, then this is a really good thing for you to plant in your garden. So now let me show you where they're gonna go out in my garden. And let me just warn you now, where they're going, it's not super pretty. So you're gonna have to use your imagination. I will explain to you what my plans are for this spot. This is where I'm gonna plant the Aronia, and I think it's a perfect spot because it's got the perfect amount of light and there's a lot of things going on around it. And that's what I kind of wanted to explain before I plant. So you can see right behind me, I've got a hedge of privets. Now, they haven't fully broken dormancy, but even when they do, it's not great. So this is one of the things that I really want to replace this year. I would love to take the privets out and get some boxwoods in, hopefully some sprinter boxwoods, and get some evergreen element in here, something that will look pretty even throughout the winter months. So these, when we moved in last year, were maybe about 50% gone. And they needed to be replaced. They're just old, and you know, plants do that. After a while, you need to kind of refresh them and start with something new. And then as far as everything else around here, I did plant 9 black knight delphiniums that are all right behind me. You can see them here. So I'm hoping for a really big drift of tall delphiniums that'll be really pretty. Right here, this is an old-fashioned rose. It's a really pale kind of a cameo pink. It's really pretty. I've got some Japanese anemones here. There's some random like perennial geraniums in here that I might end up moving to a different location. But so there's a lot going on in this bed. I do plan in this section that I'm standing in right here to put some red coleus. So either dipped in wine or some Keystone Copper, something like that with some red in it, because I am missing a red element in this space. So there are a couple things I'm gonna have to move before these can go in the ground. I've got a flower carpet rose. This is a red flower carpet rose, and I'm not an enormous fan of red in my garden, so I'm going to dig this out and give it to somebody who likes red. And then right here, I've got a boxwood that got smashed in our snow load this year. There was so much snow in this area and it just broke it right in half. So this one I will probably just get rid of because it would take years to recoup its shape. So I'm gonna dig those out, and then I'm pretty much ready. I'm gonna kind of plant these in a trio right here. I think it'll be really nice and kind of soften the edge of these pavers. So I'm just gonna dig the holes. be afraid to twist your plant around so that you make sure it's looking the best from the angle that you're going to be viewing it from the most. Like this one, I think I had it wrong in the beginning. I think I had the front facing me, so I just twisted it around, and now you can see the nice shape and the blooms from the front side. I love the way these Aronia look in this bed. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when that rose is blooming in the back, and then the delphiniums with the purple blooms, and then I'll come in with some coleus, most likely for some red, and then I might come in with some blooming annuals of some kind right here. So I think it's just going to be a really, really good look. This is an area I see from my kitchen window, so to have plants that have season-long interest, so spring, summer, and fall, is really nice. So I always have something really pretty to look out here at. The only thing as far as maintenance goes, watering, I have this on, well, I will have it on drip irrigation. You can see a sprinkler stub right there. Previously, there are sprinklers around in this area that are on risers, and I don't care to water my plants that way because we have really hard water. I think it's really hard on them because they get hard water buildup on their foliage. So I'm going to be converting that to drip, and I'll make sure that all of the plants in this area are on drip irrigation. And I like to use the brown tubing that has the holes every like 12 to 18 inches. That's typically what I put in my flower beds. So they'll be on regular irrigation, which usually I try to do a deep soak once a week. And then in the really hot part of the summer, I might have to up that just a little bit more. Pruning is really easy. Typically, you don't have to prune these because they stay so small that, you know, they're kind of an easy, low maintenance, no maintenance almost plant. If you do want to shape these up, you'll just want to go in and make sure to prune them after they're done blooming. So immediately when they're done blooming, that's when you shape them, because they do bloom on old wood, which means that they set their buds for this year's blooms on last year's growth. So if you go in and prune them right after they bloom, then they have plenty of time to set new buds for next year before they go dormant in the fall. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video seeing these Aronia go in, and we'll be updating you on their progress as the season continues. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.